Let's get your thoughts on the market. We saw it come up 2.2% today, extending the gains. Now we have seen 5% gains for this week already. What are your thoughts on what we're seeing?
Well, thank you very much, Wole. We continue to see this market drive higher on the back of a renewed investor interest, especially in the banking sector. What we think this is just a situation where the markets are just going back into a more aggressive mode after we've seen a significant pullback in equities over the last quarter. Specifically, in the last month, we saw equities down significantly, reaching the year low of about 7.6%. I'd just like to point out that in the last 5 trading sessions, the NSE All Share Index has appreciated by about 9%, which is significant for the markets of our size. Increasingly, what we're seeing is the banking sector leading the rally with the usual large caps leading the way. The likes of Guarantee Trust Bank, the likes of Zenith Bank, Nigerian breweries, and the Access Banks and the Diamond Banks are actually where we're seeing the most significant interest.
Yes, indeed. We're seeing very broad-based gains there. But what are your thoughts on when we might see a pullback? We know this market will not move in a straight line. And generally, when do you think we would see that pullback, this week or next week?
Well, I think it's anybody's guess, really, when the markets will pull back. As I said before, this is, in my view, a reaction to a market that was slightly oversold, and investors continue to see attractive valuations in this market. And we continue to suspect that they might also be taking positions ahead of the upcoming earnings season. Now, in terms of a pullback, what I would be looking for as an indication of when it might start to slow down is when we start to see maybe a pullback in volumes and value traded. However, we haven't seen any sign of that so far. And my speculation is that until we start to see some pullback in volumes and value and just general market activity, we're not going to get an indication of a pullback. As it stands right now, there just doesn't seem to be any sign that a pullback is imminent in the very near future.
Indeed, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But let's look at the corporate bond market, which has been in the spotlight recently. We did see UBA issue a 20 billion bond last week, and this is like the third high-profile bond which we've seen, following GTB's issue and, of course, UPDC. Oando is another company that has indicated that it would issue a bond, but we haven't seen any developments in that arena recently. What are your thoughts on Oando? Why haven't we seen that bond issue?
Specifically for Oando, I would think that their focus at the moment would be their proposed divestment from their downstream marketing business. I think the management of that company is primarily focused on actually spinning off the part of that business which they've indicated that they would like to spin. And the proposed 200 billion naira bond might be a secondary issue at the moment. However, from the last conference call we had with management, there have been indications that remains an area of interest as Oando continues to look to raise capital to finance especially its downstream business. Notably, I think the pressure on Oando to raise money through debt might not be as high as it was in previously, as they have been successful in refinancing a lot of their short-term debt into more medium-term facilities. We saw them do that as they announced about 60 billion naira refinancing financed by a consortium of banks here in Nigeria at an attractive rate of about 14%. So I think the case for going out and actually raising debt at the moment might not be as strong as it initially was, because all the while Oando's management has given indications that their sole reason for going out and maybe tapping into the debt markets would be to sort of balance their capital structure or re-engineer that structure. Going forward.
But have you considered what they would benefit from the current yields that we're seeing these bonds coming at? I mean, for instance, we did see UBA issuing at 13%. I think UPDC was at 10%. Definitely from a cost of debt perspective, I think they could benefit if they were to issue at interest rate at around that region. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, certainly. I think it would be beneficial for any company to take up tap into the debt market at attractive rates, which we have right now in Nigeria, relatively. But I think really it's a matter of whether that particular financing method suits what the company's long-term outlook is. And as Oando's management has made clear, they will do what is best for the company in the short, medium, and long term. I cannot really speak on whether it's consistent with their capital structure or what they're trying to do with their capital structure right now. But from all indications, they are interested in that market and will come forward to take advantage of those opportunities when they think it is appropriate.